Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a really interesting story from the world of tennis. And yes, it's about Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. These two have shared one of the greatest rivalries in the sport. But off the court? Well, it hasn't always been smooth sailing. So let's break down what Federer just said about possibly sitting down for a real conversation with Novak and how his perspective has totally shifted since retiring. So if you've followed tennis even a little, you know Federer and Djokovic haven't exactly been best buddies. Federer admitted early on that he wasn't fully convinced by Djokovic when Novak first burst onto the scene. And Djokovic? He's said before that he relates more to Nadal than Federer, and he's even openly said the two aren't really friends. Novak has previously talked about wanting to sit down with Roger one day, like really talk, once his career winds down. And now, Federer has finally responded. Federer was recently announced as the next inductee into the Tennis Hall of Fame. Huge, but honestly not surprising for a 20-time Grand Slam legend. During an interview with the Swiss newspaper Tages-Anzeiger, he was asked about Novak's comments, and Federer said something fans were not expecting. He said, yes, he would be open to sitting down with Djokovic. According to Federer, retirement has given him a whole new perspective. He said, rivalries like that create a huge bond. I see it very differently today than before, with much more distance. He even added that Djokovic doesn't quite know what that's like yet because he's still competing, but Rafa is starting to understand it as retirement gets closer. Someone might have taken something totally personally and you can't even remember it anymore. Basically, Federer's like, sure, let's sit down, talk it out, laugh about the good old days. And honestly, that would be incredible to see. Now let's talk about another dream scenario. Federer and Nadal teaming up again, not as opponents, but for an exhibition tour. People have been buzzing about this for years, and Federer didn't shut it down. When asked if anything was officially planned, Federer said not yet, but he has ideas. He said he'd love to do exhibitions at a more relaxed pace, no rushing to the next match, and he'd want to connect it to a good cause, maybe even raise money for his foundation and inspire kids. So, while nothing is locked in, Federer definitely sees some cool things that could come from teaming up with Rafa again. Even though he hasn't played a pro match since the 2022 Laver Cup, Federer has popped up at some exhibitions. He even hit at the Shanghai Masters recently and apparently impressed Sam Querrey with how good he still is even after 3 years away from the tour. And that's the latest on the Federer-Djokovic dynamic and the possible Federer-Rodel reunion tour. If either of those things actually happens, the tennis world is going to explode. Let me know in the comments, would you want to see Federer and Djokovic sit down together? And how epic would a Fadal exhibition tour be? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.